So I decided to do a video about the seven princes of hell. I'm gonna try to do my best. I only know a little bit about them, but I want to tell my little bit of story with it. So based on that, content, you gotta be advised it by your parents if you decide to ever watch this video. So I'd like to start by Lucifer, do a short story about him, a little brief story about him. So he was a perfect angel in heaven that got created, and then he started a war in heaven and eventually falled out of heaven. And that was one of the saddest moments in heaven and times. So after that, eventually he prowled the world, whatever he did to destruct it, and or snare, perhaps, if you listen to the story of Adam and Eve. So after that situation, and apparently, when he was, in his double life, it was another story actually around, I don't know if it's around the same time or before. It's a story about Lilith, a woman named Lilith. Another story that they said that I don't know if it is in the Bible that was the talk. I'm not sure. I haven't read the entire Bible, but it was mentioned that someone said it was mentioned through a video I saw while doing research. They said that it was a name, something similar to the name Lilith, but I'm not sure. I got to see for myself. Um, but with Lucifer, um, he was um first mentioned in his story. So I'd like to go back to that and you know talk more about my personal situation since he is the prince of hell. So a little bit, like, I didn't know, like growing up I knew of Lucifer, but I didn't know that we're not supposed to try to help Lucifer turn nice. And I was trying to give hope to Lucifer to be nice, but it was like, after my situation, like I was in the hellhole, the basement, but it wasn't that held it, and then it got held in, and then I decided to like say, "Where's Hope?" Like I'm like, "What the heck?" Like I did not know that we're not supposed to raise Lucifer. I read in the Bible, not like a few months ago that you're not supposed to, and I'm like, wow, I did not know that. But I hope for Lucifer, like I hope for a lot of other people, and I'm not supposed to. I just thought that we can. I'm not gonna try to blame probably. I'm not gonna try because I didn't read the whole thing and that's what happened. So I'm just my life is just full of a lot of trauma and a lot of things to get through. So the next that will help. I'm gonna try to go through fast is I think Adonis. He is supposed to be the husband of Lilith, and he had some kind of session over this woman named Sarah that he killed all of her husbands, I believe. Very creepy, weird situation, I believe. Um, how long, you know, he, stayed around that situation. So yeah, but he is the prince of lust, I believe they said. And I'm like, okay. I'm not a fan of lust. So especially in these songs, it's like, oh. And but Lilith is, one of the stories I could throw a fact, not a fact about it, but I can do something real fast. I bet. It's about this woman that supposedly be born before Eve, and she was nice and God loved her so much, and then all these entities try to turn her evil off of how nice she was. It kind of remind me of my story almost. It's kind of weird too, but that's all I'm gonna talk about that a little bit. But if it's real, well, yeah, real. Maybe it is. It's hidden. Maybe mine's going to be hidden. I'm not trying to be funny, but um, I don't know. It's just I just don't know what to say about that. I'm just like in awe. So yeah, but I understand and feel a little pain though. I understand the pain, I know. Um, so let's talk about more. Another prince in hell is called Sloth. So he got held into hell because he was neutral, and the fight in War in Heaven with Lucifer, he didn't do much but sit down and do anything. Um, I think he is the figure of a sloth, the animal. Um, I'm not sure, but that just I think his story sends a big message on like people should help. I think it shows a lot in that message, a sloth. Um, yeah, I do understand that story a lot. That story. So the next, okay. Um Prince of Hell, I believe, is Lavadon, is Prince of the Infernal Seas, and is Prince of Envy. Envying, something close to jealousy, have a problem. So that's Lavadon. Go to the Infernal Seas, and I believe that, I'm not the one of envying. I know about jealousy. God said he's jealous himself, so envy is something that stays in hell, I guess, or goes down there, I guess, and not in him. He's just that he's jealous, and I got to do more of a literature. What is it? Literal? No, a lecture on that. Like I'm gonna do a lot of talk on that because I like my mindset on how I feel about different stories. I don't like to rush like this though. Um. Yeah. So, um, that's Lavadon, Prince of the Infernal Seas. So if you envy, And yeah, I do love the ocean. That's all I gotta say. I do. Um, someone's talking. Okay, so that's a lake. I do love the ocean. So, hmm, the next Prince of Hell is I believe is what is I guess Jezebel, Muzzable, Jezebel. So Jezebel is a prince in hell, and everyone know of the Jezebel spirit, um like succubus, massacres, and stuff like that, but they don't speak of massacres uh like really a lot now, only succubus. Um yeah, I don't like demons that but I think it'd be demons within, woman that taunt women, like literally. So it's nothing really fake about it. It's all real. So yeah, but I like to tell a story about that real quick. I mean, a story about something about fly, because she is, what is that? She symbolized herself as a fly, as some sort of fly. Um, I don't know, some kind of fly, kind of dark entity of flies and stuff, a master of flies. I just like to tell a story real quick about that. When like one time when I was in the hellhole basement, and I was going through some kind of death situation, like I was about to die, and out of nowhere, a fly saved my life. A fly, one little fly saved my life. I just can't believe it. A fly. So like, wow. But as a child, I always did want to be a fly. It's not even funny. As a child, I did want to be a fly. And I just want to experience a fly because it just looked like they just had some cool eyes. But yeah, enjoy your life. Better than today.